Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class, in this chapter, in this one, we were talking about the questions from that of the sample paper, and today we will also going to continue with the same. As you can see here students, again we'll start with the section A. You will see that there are 24 questions and we have to attempt any 20 question from this section. So let us see the all the questions. Now starting with the first one, water undergoes decomposition to produce hydrogen and oxygen. Due to, so you know that the water is water, it undergoes the process of the decomposition reaction, and because how this process occur, actually this process occur with the help of the electric current. So it is actually due to the electrolytic decomposition reaction this process generally occur. Okay. So it is because of the electric current only the water decomposition process occur when actually in case of this decomposition reaction, what we will find that is what we will find here student, and that is what we will find here. See, this is water H2O, and when the H2O undergoes the electrolytic decomposition reaction, so with the help of the electric arc it will get divided into the two gases, that is H2 and O2. So hydrogen gas and that of the oxygen gas is released when the water undergoes the process of the decomposition reaction. Okay, so according to that, electric current will be the electric current when flows through that of the water, then the decomposition reaction actually take place. Now let us see here. A student write a chemical equation of the reaction between quicklime and water. CaO plus H2O, this will give CaOH whole twice. How the reaction be classified? Now see here, calcium oxide is there and water is there, and when both of them combine, then there is a formation of a calcium hydroxide. Now let us see that what kind of a reaction it is. First one, that the reaction is what? It is an example of a combination reaction as a compound separates into two compounds. Second one, the reaction is an example of a decomposition reaction as a compound dissociate into two compounds. Then the third one is the reaction is an example of a combination reaction as two compounds react to form a single compound. And fourth one, the reaction is an example of a decomposition reaction as two compounds react to form a single compound. So here the reaction is what? It is actually an example of a decomposition reaction where the one compound dissociates into the two compound. Basically in the process of this decomposition reaction, this generally happens where the two compounds is formed when the one compound get dissociated. But here as you can see that here the two compounds, they have combined together to form that of the one compound. So this is actually a kind of a combination reaction. So we can say here the correct option will be C, that is the reaction is an example of a combination reaction as two compound reacts to form a single compound. Okay, so the correct option will be C here. Now see here, identify the nature of substance formed in the following activity. Okay, so the first one is basic because it turns red litmus to blue, and B1 is acidic because it turns red litmus to blue. Then C1 is neutral, and fourth one is none of these. So here the first one is what, that as you can see here the magnesium ribbon has been taken, and when magnesium ribbon is with the help of the tongue, when we burn it, then it will burn with the dazzling flame, and then there is a formation of a white ash which is collected in the watch glass, and that is the magnesium oxide. So what will be the substance? What is the nature of the substance, student? Actually Magnesium is a metal, and we know that metal oxide is what it is generally basic in nature. So we can say here that here the magnesium oxide, which is formed by burning of that of a magnesium with the dazzling flame, then this is what it is, magnesium oxide. And the magnesium oxide, when we add water, it will going to form the magnesium hydroxide, which is what basic in nature. Okay, so this is what, this is a basic because it turns red litmus to blue. Non-metal, the next question is non-metal which is liquid at a room temperature it will be. Now you see here, you know that a non-metal which is actually a liquid at room temperature is, first one is mercury, second one is bromine, third one is carbon, and fourth one is helium. So here the non-metal which is actually a liquid at room temperature is, it is a bromine. Mercury is what, it is a metal which is liquid at room temperature, but non-metal, that is bromine, which is liquid at room temperature. So we can say here that the correct option will be what, it will be B. Number of proton in an atom of an element A is 19. Then the number of electron in its ion A positive is. So the number of proton in an atom, it is 19, and number of electron is A positive. So the number of electron in A positive, students, so as you can see here that number of proton is what, it is 19, and it will become A positive. So number of electron will be, you know that the positive charge will come only when it loses the electron. So when it loses the electron, it will become 18 in number. So according to that, the number of electrons which is present in it will be 18 here. Okay, this is 18. Now needle sting is a natural source of which acid? Needle sting is a natural source of it is a natural source of that of the methanoic acid. So here the answer, you see students, basically lactic acid is present in curd, citric acid is present in citrus fruit, and tartaric acid is also present in the it is also present in that of the tomato. So obviously all these are present in the food. This is the methanoic acid, which is basically the natural source of the needle sting. So the correct option, it will be methanoic acid. Now the next one is, a solution react with a crushed eggshell to give a gas that turns lime water milky. Now a solution when react with that of the crushed eggshell to give a gas that turns lime water milky, the solution contains of. Now a solution like that of the crushed eggshell, actually when the calcium carbonate will react with that of a hydrochloric acid, then it will releases a gas that will going to turn the lime water milky. Okay, so here the reaction will be the formation of a calcium chloride will occur through it. Okay, so according to that, the correct option, it will be hydrochloric acid, it which turns the hydrochloric acid, in which when the carbon dioxide react with that of the HCl, then there is a formation of a calcium chloride, and again the carbon dioxide gas is formed with it. Okay, now the next question is that which one of the following is formed when calcium hydroxide react with carbon dioxide? So when calcium hydroxide react with the carbon dioxide, then there is a formation of a hydrogen, there is a formation of a salt and water, both of them to form here. Okay, so calcium hydroxide plus CO2, then there is a formation of a CaCO3 here, and water is also produced along with it. So the correct option will be both B and C here. Now see question number 9. If 10 ml of a sulfuric acid is mixed with 10 ml of a magnesium hydroxide of the same concentration, the resultant solution will give the following color with the universal indicator. So if 10 ml of H2SO4 is mixed with 10 ml of a magnesium hydroxide of the same concentration, that the resultant solution will give the following color with the universal indicator. Yes, now you see here students that if suppose we will take a 10 ml of a sulfuric acid, and when we will mix this 10 ml of a sulfuric acid with this 10 ml of a magnesium hydroxide of same concentration, then the resultant which is found here, with that of the universal indicator, it actually help in giving the color that is green in color, because magnesium hydroxide and the sulfuric acid when react with each other, then there is a formation of a green color. The universal indicator will give the green color. Now let us see here the next question. The next question is that which of the following salts does not contain water of crystallization? Basically, the salt which does not contain the water of crystallization is, one is blue vitriol, then second one is baking soda, then third one is washing soda, then fourth one is gypsum. So out of the given, it is water of crystallization, it will be consisted by that of the blue vitriol. We know that its formula is CuSO4 dot 7H2O. Then baking soda is there, whose formula is NaHCO3. Washing soda Na2CO3 dot 12H2O. And then gypsum is there, CaSO4 dot 2H2O. So out of the following, the baking soda is that which does not consisting of any kind of a crystallization. So we can say here it is the baking soda will be correct option for that. Okay. The diagram given below is the experimental setup to show that carbon dioxide is given out during respiration. In this setup, what does the test tube marked X contain? Now you see here students, in this one, the potassium hydroxide is actually given here students, which basically help in absorbing that of the carbon dioxide. Okay, so the given diagram in that of the experiment, it shows that the carbon dioxide is given out and the test tube X is what, that is a the potassium hydroxide solution is there. Now what is the main function of the part C? Basically this part C is what, as you can see here, A is the kidney one, then tubule is there, urethra is there, and the part C is the ureter, and the role of the ureter, that it used to take the urine from the kidney to that of the urinary bladder. Okay, so the role is what, it's a kind of a passage through which the urine passes from the kidney to the urinary bladder and gets stored into that of the urinary bladder there. The opening and the closing of stomata pore depends on. Now see here, the opening and the closing of the stomata pore, it basically depend upon guard cells, concentration of a carbon dioxide in stomata, temperature, oxygen concentration in plant. So obviously it will depend upon the guard cell, and the guard cell will help in regulating that of the movement and allow the gases to or the water vapor to pass through it. Now which of the following option is incorrectly matched here? So enzyme is given, that is pepsin, and the function is given, that is digest protein in stomach. Then second one is trypsin, and the function is given digest protein in small intestine. Then lipase is given, and its function is digest fats into fatty acid and glycerol. And D is amylase, whose function is given, that is to emulsify fat here. So pepsin is what, you know that the role of the pepsin, it help in the digestion of the protein. So this is what, this is not a correctly match. If we talk about the trypsin, so trypsin is also there in order to digest the protein. Okay, pepsin is also to digest protein in stomach, but we know that the digestion of the pepsin occur in that of the digestion of the protein occur in that of the stomach itself, because pepsin is released in it. Trypsin is there, it also help in digesting the small intestine. Yes, it help in the small intestine. Amylase is there, lipase is there, which help in digesting the fat into fatty acid and glycerol. This is also a correct option, that it will help in that of the digestion of fats into fatty acid and glycerol. Then amylase is there, which help in emulsify fat, and but we know that the amylase basically help in the digestion of the carbohydrate. So we can say here that the wrong option, which is here, it is what, it is of amylase. Okay, that is the wrong option. Then the next one is mammalian lungs are spongy, solid and spongy, hollow and spongy. Basically, the mammalian lungs are what? They are solid and spongy. Left atrium of a human heart contain, so left atrium of a human heart, you know that the right atrium consisting of a deoxygenated blood, and the left atrium it consisting of the oxygenated blood. Here mixed blood is also there and a pure blood is also there. So according to that, it is the A1 which is having the oxygenated blood here. Okay, so the left atrium is having the oxygenated blood. The SI unit of power of a lens is, you know that the power is basically measured in diopter. Okay, so the SI unit of the power is what? That is diopter. So the correct option will be diopter. Now the light from the sun falling on a convex lens will converge at a point that is called as. So a light which is coming from that of the infinity, when they converges at a point, that is called as the focus. Okay, so there it is called as the focus. Okay, so here the option it will be focus. Now a convex lens forms small size image when object placed at. So the convex lens it forms the same size image when object is placed at 2f, because we know that at center of curvature or at 2f the image which is formed here it will be of the same size. Okay, you know that when object is kept as center of curvature, the image will form as center of curvature. When the object is kept at 2f, then the image will also form at 2f only. Next one is, what is the unit of the refractive index? So the unit of the refractive index is what? That is, it is unitless. There is no unit is there of that of the refractive index. Okay, so there is no particular unit is there for that of the refractive index. So it is what? It is a unitless. Then the next one is, a light ray enter from medium A to medium B as shown in the figure. The refractive index of medium B relative to A will be. So a light ray which is entering from medium A, that is, see here, it is far away from that of the normal. So this is what? It is a lighter medium, and then it entered into the medium where it went towards that of the normal. So that medium is what? It is a denser medium. So the refractive index. Okay, so here the answer it will be that the value it came out, it will be less than that of the unity. Okay, so the answer will be less than that of the unity here. Now the next one is, that is, as the light travel from rarer to denser medium, its velocity. You know that when an object starts moving from the rarer to that of the denser medium, it starts bending towards that of the normal. At that time, the velocity of the speed keeps on decreasing. So we can say here that in this case, the speed of the light, it is very less. So, when the light travels from the rarer to denser medium, the velocity keeps on decreasing. Okay, why is it so? Because the speed of the light is what? It is more in that of the air rather than in that of any other medium. So, the correct option that it will decreases the velocity here. Now the next one is the power of a lens. So power of a lens is what? That is plus 2d. Find out the focal length here. Now the power of lens is given here 2 diopter, and we know that power is equals to what? That is 100 upon f centimeter. So obviously it will be equals to 100 upon the power, that is equals to 2. So it will be equals to 50 centimeter. So the correct option will be what? It will be 50 centimeter. So the power of the lens will be what? 50 centimeter, students. Then question number 24 is here. Twinkling of a star is due to. Basically, the star's twinkle, it is due to the atmospheric refraction by the different layer of varying varying the refractive indexes. A lot of different refractive indices are there, students. So when the ray of a light from that of the stars enter into that of the space, then it undergoes a lot of a refraction process, and this different layer of a refraction will causes the refractive index and the twinkling of the stars occur from it. Okay, so the planets do not twinkle but the stars twinkle. The reason behind it is that is the stars, they are far apart from each other, so when a ray of a light comes from the source of the light, they start showing the refraction, and due to the continuous or the different layers are present in it, this continuous it undergoes the continuous refraction due to the different refractive indices, and the stars starts twinkling. Okay, now see here, section B here. Before burning in air, the magnesium ribbon is cleaned by rubbing with sandpaper. So when we burn that of the magnesium ribbon, why we used to clean the magnesium ribbon with the sandpaper? So first one, that is, it makes the ribbon surface shinier. Second one, it will remove the layer of magnesium oxide from the. So student, now moving to the next question, and the question is, as you can see here in this picture, the picture is given here, and this is a picture of a kidney, and now we have to find out that which is the part 1. Actually, you know that this is the tube which is coming out through that of the kidney, so we will call it as a this is the C1, that is ureter, through which the liquid passes through that of the kidney tube and is stored into that of the urinary bladder here. So ureter will be the correct option here. Then the next one is that which of these is the structural and functional unit of part 2? So the structural and functional unit of part 2 is what? That is alveoli, nephron, neuron, and none of these. Out of these, you know that the kidneys whose structural and functional unit is nephron. So the answer will be the nephron. Now the how blood is purified by artificial method. So basically blood is purified by artificial method by the process of filtration, by the process of dialysis, reabsorption, or all of these. So basically it is due with the help of the dialysis. This is the artificial method which is used to purify the blood here. Then the excretory material are temporarily stored in. So the excretory material temporarily stored in urethra, kidney, ureter, urinary bladder. So basically it is stored in that of the urethra. Okay. Now let us move on. Now see here, question is, that is, mammalian lungs are there. So mammalian lungs are water. This is the solid, spongy, solid and spongy, or hollow and spongy. So basically mammalian lungs are what? That is solid and that of spongy here. Now in this one we were talking about, we have come with the section B, students, and you see question is that before burning in air, the magnesium ribbon is cleaned by rubbing with the sandpaper. To make the ribbon surface shinier, remove the layer of magnesium oxide from the ribbon surface, remove the layer of magnesium carbonate from the ribbon surface, remove the moisture from that of the ribbon surface. So before we burn the air, burning in the air, actually magnesium ribbon is cleaned by rubbing with the sandpaper. It helps in removing the layer of the magnesium oxide from the ribbon surface. Okay, yes, because there is a formation of a oxide is there, and that can be removed with the help of the sandpaper here. So according to that, the correct option will be the C1, in which the magnesium oxide will be removed. Now, one of the following process which does not involve a chemical reaction, that is, out of these, which one does not involve a chemical reaction is melting of candle wax when heated, burning of candle wax when heated, digestion of food in our stomach, making of compost from vegetable waste. So out of these, the chemical reaction which is not involved here, it is what? It is the it is the melting of a candle wax when heated. Yes, because when we heat it, then the wax it melted, and again it will get solidified, and which can be used again here. So melting of the candle wax when heated is what? It is a physical process, it is not a chemical reaction here. Now the next one is that which of the following represent the correct order of decreasing reactivity? So the decreasing reactivity is what? Decreasing order or decreasing reactivity is what? Here it is that magnesium is there, then zinc is there, and iron is there, students. Out of that you will find that the magnesium is what? It is supposed to be the highest one, then the zinc, then aluminium, and then iron. So the maximum reactivity is of that of the magnesium, then zinc, then aluminium, then iron. So the second one is what? That is the correct option here, and this is the answer here. Now the element react with oxygen to give compound with a high melting point. This compound is also soluble in water. The compound is likely to be. So element is there which basically react with the oxygen to form. So basically the element which react with oxygen to give compound with a high melting point which is soluble in the water is likely to be carbon dioxide here. That when carbon dioxide react with the oxygen, it will form the high melting point here, students. Now the next one is that what happens when a pellet of a sodium is dropped in the water. So when a pellet of a sodium is dropped in a water, then it catches actually fire and form hydroxide, because it is what? It is a highly reactive one. So it will react with the water to form its hydroxide. Okay, so pellet of a sodium will forms the sodium hydroxide.